Also new tonight, updates in the murder investigation of Ray High School student Andrew Lee Garza. The teen wanted for that killing remains in the Juvenile Detention Center tonight.
The 16-year-old suspect, who's not been identified because he is a minor, turned himself into police over the weekend. He's accused of shooting Garza at a home on Monitor Street earlier this month. Because of his age, the court system works differently. Juvenile offenders are required to appear before a judge at a detention hearing where they're given a chance to be released depending on the condition of their crime.
And because of the nature of this crime, he was not given that chance and will remain in custody. The case has some wondering what happens to juveniles when they enter the court system charged with a crime as serious as murder. Our Alexis Green spoke with county attorneys to learn more about how that process works, and she joins us live in studio with that report. Lexis?
Thank you, Rudy and Leslie. Now, while many may be familiar with the adult legal system, few are aware of how it goes for juveniles accused of committing serious crimes. Last year in Nueces County, there were nearly 1,500 cases involving minors that were referred to our Juvenile Detention Center, crimes ranging from drug possession to murder.
It appears the last couple of years the offenses have gotten more serious, particularly gunplay.
John Malam with the Nueces County Juvenile Probation Department says the offenders behind these serious and violent crimes are getting younger. But what defines a juvenile? According to Malam, their department handles any minor between the ages of 10 and 17 who commits a Class B misdemeanor and above.
Anything in the penal code, Texas Penal Code, that you or I could commit as an adult, if a juvenile commits it between that age range, they're referred to our department.
As far as severity of the crime, Malam says there have been an increase in car thefts and even first-degree felonies.
Usually on average it's no more than one per year regarding a child charged with homicide. But last year there were 4. I believe we've had 1 this year as well.
According to Assistant District Attorney Christy Britt, who presides over these cases, juveniles get the same due process as an adult, but they are also unique.
It works a little different in the adult system in that, you have a bond, you can make the bond, or you can't make the bond. We really don't have anything in the adult system like the juvenile system in that they have to be brought before the court, every 10 days to see the juvenile judge, to see if they're going to be released.
Malam says there are instances where a child can be certified to stand trial as an adult, and that can happen as early as 14, depending on the severity of their crime, such as murder.
At which time our court would review all the assessments that are ordered in such a process. Do they have a maturity level of an adult? Those are the factors that the court can take into consideration when determining whether a child remains in the juvenile system or is transferred to the adult system.
As of this morning, there are 40 juveniles at the Nueces County Detention Center. They are not separated by crimes, but instead separated by their history. Juveniles who are repeat offenders stay in a different pod than a juvenile who's a first-timer. Milan says that the average stay is 23 days, but more serious offenses like murder or homicide will vary case by case. Juvenile cases can take just as long as adult cases to process through the court system. For instance, 3 of those murder cases we mentioned earlier are still pending a final hearing from a year ago.